Hi, I'm Elizabeth. In this video, I am painting these sunflowers for my neighbor. She's someone who always takes the time out of her day to greet me and my dog, and every interaction with her is always filled with joy. I noticed that she has sunflowers in front of her house, so I thought doing this painting for her might bring a smile to her face. Alright, so that was a quick little introduction, and right now we're gonna jump straight into the painting.
Okay, so I know what you're thinking. This is coming off on a really ugly start. I had some disaster canvases where I was trying out something I felt was going to be artsy. Yeah, it didn't work. So now I'm using these old canvases that I don't like so much and covering them up with new things that I do like. Since noticing that one of my friendly neighbors seems to like sunflowers, I felt this was a great opportunity to reuse this old canvas. So this painting is a small thank you for someone who brings a lot of light into the lives around her. My neighbor is always kind, not just to me, but to my dog as well. And that kind of warmth doesn't go unnoticed. I chose sunflowers not only because it seems that she likes them, but they remind me of her, joyful, vibrant, and always reaching for the sun. Every time I see her smile or wave from her yard, I feel a little brighter inside. So I wanted to reflect that feeling on canvas. But of course, not every part of this process is pretty, like the part you're seeing right here. Yeah, it's looking kind of rough, and honestly, it's the stage where I start doubting all of my life choices. The colors right now are atrocious, the shapes are awkward, and it definitely does not look like sunflowers yet. But I've learned that this messy middle is just part of how paintings come together. You have to be a little ugly before it starts to bloom. So I kept going, layer by layer, trusting that something beautiful was still taking shape underneath this chaos. By now you've probably noticed that she's looking thick with 2 C's. This is because after I blend the paints to get the desired color I want, I add a little bit of mud. Not just any mud, but I'm talking drywall mud, the kind that you use to patch in a hole. Several years ago, back when I was a preteen, I saw another artist in real person do this. I had always thought it was a really interesting technique, but I'd never actually practiced it until this week. And I gotta say, it's quite addicting. This part right here especially reminds me of frosting on a cake. I'm just loving the way that it's moving on the canvas. Alright, so about this point it's finally starting to look like sunflowers. They're still not the prettiest, but we still have process to continue. I mean, this certainly looks like frosting. It looks so good I could eat it. Alright, at this point I was having a bit of doubt. I started seeing that everything looked really sloppy, so I had to go in and add some more values and clean up some of the paint. One thing my high school art teacher always reminded us of is that if you don't like what you're doing or you don't like the process so far, you can always paint over paint, which is exactly what I'm doing here. I mean, I started off with a painting that I did not like underneath, and the more I layered and painted over the sunflowers, the more refined they looked. So that age-old advice that my art teacher gave me still reigns true. If you don't like something, paint over it. Which also kind of reminds me of that old saying, if you don't like your life, you should go and change it, which I think is good advice. You know, we can't control everything in our lives, but I think that we can get a grasp on our mindset, which can often be a very powerful tool in a place where we feel very powerless. To tell you the honest truth, these are starting to look kind of fiery, but also much better than what we started out with. In the recent past, I kind of stopped putting my signature on the front of canvases and I only started signing on the back. However, I recently started selling more paintings, and so I've had a few clients ask me to specifically put my signature on the front of canvases, so I am trying to get back into the habit of doing that. Here's some close-up shots of the painting. I actually really like the texture. It came out really funky, but I think that she'll really like it.
Well, thanks for watching, and now that it's finished, I've written a little sweetheart note for her. If you want to see more paintings like this in the future, go ahead and subscribe or leave a comment. I post videos every Thursday afternoon, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, and I look forward to painting with you again.